Hello everyone, so today we're going to be looking over the February 2018 recap, which just came out. It's a lot of art changes, there's a couple new weapons and new map updates in here, but nothing too insane. Now that V10 was released, the next big thing I think we're looking for are helicopters or tanks, but right now they're working on a couple other artistic upgrades and reworks. So we're going to look into it here, and I'll show you what they've had and what they're talking about over at OWI. So the first thing that they're talking about is the new weapons. They've got the AT4 all modeled and colored, as you can see here, really detailed. You even have like some scuffing on the sides of the launcher. So this is, I can only assume is going to be used for the US in addition to or replacing the law that we currently have. So it's cool that we're seeing another launcher. A lot of these launchers are actually like, I think, fire and forget, like single fire launchers, like disposable launchers. So seeing them reload some of these launchers, I think, I'm not sure if they're going to keep that mechanic in or if these are going to be single fire. But we'll see what happens with these launchers and if they plan on changing the game mechanic with the addition of the AT4. The next thing that we're looking at is L129A1, which is the British marksman rifle, I believe, and it's got the ACOG on top of it as well as a secondary sight on top of the ACOG. So I'm really that's what interests me the most about seeing this weapon is that if that second sight is actually going to be able to be toggleable and usable, or if it's just there for cosmetic cosmetic changes. I'm really interested to see if they're going to introduce a mechanic like Escape from Tarkov has, where you can toggle between the sights. But we'll see. So yeah, they went into a lot of detail to show off that second sight on top of the ACOG. The next kind of visual art rework they're doing is on the Hesco walls, which I think is desperately needed. I mean, you can just see the improvement from the old ones to the new ones. The old ones were just like copy and pasted blocks of Hesco, like it was too clean. The new ones, as you can see, there's still some variation between them. There's good texture to them. There's sand. It just looks a lot more. I'm gonna say immersive, because nothing really is ever this clean cut. But this looks just 100 times better than the old Hescos. One thing I want to note here is that there is a destroyed state. So right now the only way to destroy Hescos, I think, is with mortars or IEDs. With the destroyed state, I'm interested to see if the Hescos will also take damage from things like 30 millimeter HE or RPGs and stuff like that, because these look really torn up. So I'll be interested to see if they change the damage model for the Hesco. And once again, just the double stack Hesco is getting a rework as well. So they look really clean, really nice, really, I guess realistic is the word I'm looking for, rather than the kind of Play-Doh look that they have now. There's also a new Hesco bunker, which is really cool. It's got like that camo webbing on top. And you can even see on the inside, there's stuff in there. It's not just a clean flat floor and flat boards. This kind of gives it more of a realistic feel to it, I believe. A new building model. I think we're desperately in need of new building models. Like I think almost every hardcore player that's put a lot of hours into this game has memorized the interiors of almost every building by now. So it's cool to see some variation being added. I can't wait to see these in other maps and in the old maps and seeing how those change them. I'm still kind of, I guess, I hate buildings in squad right now because there's no way to destroy or get out an enemy within a building, and buildings to me right now are pretty overpowered. Al Basra has kind of lost its shine on me because it's just a pain in the ass when you have to go through those 7 stories and there's a fob in there because there's no building destruction right now. But hopefully they do something to address that, because right now I think the building meta of just sitting the entire platoon or squads in buildings and being unable to get rooted out aside from breaching them in a bloodbath of a meat grinder situation, I think that's kind of getting old. So I don't know, I think there's a couple things they could do, like make mortars go through the walls, make anti-tank rounds go through the walls a little bit, or even give the other factions not necessarily an IED, but something with the damage model of an IED where it can go through walls so that we can root out these people in these buildings. Because right now, when US attacks a building in Al Basra and they have and the insurgents have super fobbed up one of the towers, there's no way to get them out aside from just bloodbath meat grinding floor to floor for the next 30 minutes. So hopefully they do something to adjust the building meta as well as add these in. And then the final thing they talk about really is the map updates. So Camdish Highlands. I really like this map just by looking at it here, simply because these compounds aren't huge compounds. There's not huge buildings. These are very small buildings, and like I said before, buildings right now have just been pissing me the fuck off. So like it's cool to see that the terrain is gently applied here, and there aren't any buildings that are really huge compounds because like Narva, Albazra, and even Balaya on Valino, those buildings are just so not fun to play in right now, just because it's just a meat grinder. It turns into a bloodbath. But as you can see here, these are just really small compounds. I don't think that's going to be a problem because you won't be able to stack an entire platoon in one building. So I think this will end up looking really cool. These buildings remind me a lot of Arma for some reason. Like I look at this map and I look at these buildings and it just reminds me of some Arma buildings. But I think it's cool. It looks really good and I can't wait to play this map. Looks beautiful. They're gonna update Gordok with optimization. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're just gonna do a small update pass on Gordok. So I'd be interested to see in how much they're gonna change. One thing I want to see is that Gordok does actually really well is more rock cover, because right now a lot of the cover on the maps are trees, and to get in cover behind a tree is just, it feels very uncomfortable. There needs to be more, I guess, horizontal cover, not just vertical cover like the trees, because right now like you get down and the only thing you can get behind is like this 1 meter wide tree. I like how Gordok has these rocks. What other map has good rock cover? Balaya has good rock cover as well. There's rocks all over the place on the ridges, but some maps have like nothing but trees, and it's just it doesn't even serve as cover almost. It might as well be bare. So I think having rocks on certain maps or adding more horizontal cover to maps really adds to the infantry gameplay, allows you to maneuver and have these more dynamic firefights outside of the towns and on parts of the map. Because right now, a lot of the maps like Yihorivka or a lot of these big other maps, it's really hard to get firefights going in other parts of the map because they're either so barren and open, or the building and the compounds are just so powerful that no one ever wants to play outside the compounds. But that's pretty much it. They did a AMA on Reddit where they answered a whole bunch of questions. So if you're interested in that, I highly suggest you go to Join Squad subreddit and check out that AMA. That was done by Drav and Merlin. So thanks to those guys for dropping that AMA. But yeah, that was the February update. As you can see, a lot of art rework, especially with the V10 mechanics overhaul. So we'll see what happens, what the big next thing that we're all going to get hyped up for. I'm hoping it's helicopters, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.